treat for you guys today. We have a 2017 Porsche 911 Turbo S in front of us. Just want to go over, like I said in every other video I do, we want to do raw, real footage, raw, real commentary. I don't want to hype it up with a bunch of internet facts. We want to keep it exactly what you guys want to know and want to hear. So with the 2017 behind me, it has carbon ceramic brakes. They come with 580 horsepower stock, which this is stock, with 516 foot-pounds of torque. In the overclocked mode, which Porsche offers in these models, it gets up to 553 foot-pounds of torque. That'll get you at a curb weight of 3,500 pounds roughly, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Standing quarter mile for this car was clocked at, I think, 10.4 or 10.5. And that was at 131 miles an hour. I'm sure there's a lot of people, I've seen videos, I'm sure you guys have seen videos of these cars running low 10s. Put a simple tune on it, they're definitely in the 9s. I've even seen 9.4s, 9.5s. I mean, these cars are the most practical supercar that's out there for a two-door coupe, other than, you know, going to something like my car or the RS7. So pretty spectacular car if you ask me. It's one that's been on my personal bucket list, something that I'd like to own, something I like to drive, enjoy, drop the top on a nice weekend. I don't have a convertible anymore, so being around this car has me envious. World Class Motors has it listed for sale up here in Noblesville, Indiana. If you guys are interested, you can come check it out. Alright guys, so more interesting facts on this. If you don't know, this also has a twin turboed flat 6. In comparison to the regular 911 turbo, which is the same, they just did some detuning. The turbo for this year came out with 540, so it's about 45 or so horsepower less than the Turbo S version. It's also roughly $30,000 less as well. So with that, it's basically the performance version of that. Some of the perks that you get with the Turbo S are you have some of these front fins up here. I really love the dual spoiler that comes up in the back. This car runs 245s on the front, which is already big enough, but it runs 305 stock on the rear. So all you need, it's all-wheel drive as is, but to really plant that power down to the pavement, they've got those huge 305s on the back to help you do that. So if you were looking to buy one of these brand new in 2017, this would have cost you around $190,000 on up, depending on what options you wanted to get. If you would have went with the regular 911 turbo that I mentioned just a second ago, that would have cost you roughly $30,000 less than that to start out with. Today, these cars still hold their value really well. They're still around 100 plus, depending on mileage, condition, and so forth. And to me, all around, like I said, this is one of the most desirable, practical sports cars that are out there, and the most underrated. This car will keep up with any other supercar that you guys like and watch. Huracans, R8s, Aventadors, it doesn't matter, 488s. Even though it doesn't look as exotic, that's kind of what I like about it, in the sense of it's a sleeper. So to me, I rate this very high on my list. It's something that I wish that I owned today, that I could park in my garage, that I could share on my channel with you guys. But for today, we're just going to walk around, talk about it, and let's get behind the wheel and see what the experience is like driving it. You know, John, I think we need to take a trip to Mexico real quick. Alright, so the dual clutch transmission phenomenal. As soon as you touch the paddle shifters, it shifts. Sounds great. You can even hear how instant that is. There's no lag in shifting at all. It revs to 7,200 RPMs. Watch out now, man. Them turbos will bite you.
See what it can do here.
About ready. Let's go in a second. I just want to say that was the probably fastest, smoothest acceleration that you could ask for. It didn't instantly bite you to where you felt out of control, but it consistently pulled the whole entire time. It revved all the way up to 7,200 RPMs, and when it was time to shift, it shifted on a dot. There was no delay, and I think that can be attributed to Porsche's extremely fast 0 to 60 times, as well as quarter mile times, with having not as much horsepower as other cars in the game. And it's really, I mean, it's light, but there's other cars that are lighter. I mean, this is almost 3,600 pounds. Like I was saying, I absolutely freaking love this car. I'm a big, V8 guy, really, at heart. I like that throaty sound, that deep, raspy sound that you get out of it, especially in the RS7. But other than the engine sound, this car feels like a true driver's car. I haven't been able to be in as many cars recently, being accustomed to driving my, near or close to 800 horsepower car that I actually feel good in, that I feel like is fast, supportive, like I'm in control. That really just feels like a driver-focused car. It's fun to drive until today. I mean, I wanted one before I even got behind the wheel, and I want one even more now. So if anybody wants to loan me some money so I can jump in one of these, I'll do all kinds of crazy stuff in it for you guys. But post the Cash App link, Venmo, PayPal, whatever you want down below. Let's get this thing going.
This thing rockets out of corners.
I'm barely even pushing the throttle. I mean, honestly.
You can tell that this thing could completely fly around.
Because it's, I'm not used to it. It's not our car. I don't want to do anything too crazy, but it's just how the car is. I mean, you feel completely stable and in control the whole time. Sure. Yeah, you're definitely planted. can even hear the turbos for the blow-off valve, which is something I'm not used to hearing. You can't hear them in the Audi at all. But because the engine is behind us in the Porsche, and because of how Porsche's design is, you can hear those a little bit better. Audi, they don't really do blow-off valves for their turbos or anything like that. So that's really cool to have that behind us. And, you know, if we had this car, obviously we would do some work to it, knowing, you know, what we do. But that, we get that to sound a little bit more impressive than what it sounds. But it's cool just to have what we have for today.